April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. CAPA, or Child Abuse Prevention Association, works to try and help kids. Janetta Isa is here to talk about their mission, and thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, so what does CAPA do?
Well, CAPA not only heals kids that have been abused, we also support families to strengthen them and prevent abuse. And then we also do overall prevention like parenting with love and logic, sexual abuse prevention. So we cover the full spectrum.
Let's talk about child abuse in our area right now. What's it like? Are we seeing more cases?
We have, over the last year or two, more economic indicators. Increased stress increases those types of behavior.
Maybe because of the economy and the downturn
economy,
in it?
Definitely. When people aren't employed, their interest is feeding the family, getting those types of services going, and not paying that much attention to parenting, especially when they're under stress.
So what happens for a child? What can a child do? Because this is an authority figure. This is their mom.
Absolutely.
This is their dad. This is a family member. What's the best advice out there if a child is experiencing child abuse?
I think a lot of times children don't have a clue that they're being abused because they think everyone's treated that way. And of course there's a variety of types of abuse. You have neglect, which is the largest type, about 78%.
And what is neglect? Let's clear that up.
Neglect is a definition of what you fail to do for a child to provide for their nurturance and care. So it's what you're not doing. You're not loving, you're not nurturing. You may be leaving them for extended periods or those kinds of things. Abuse is something you do to a child purposely, and it's not an accident, it's not a one-time event, but physical abuse is about 10 to 12% of the overall abuses that are called in, and then sexual abuse is about 8%. And so emotional abuse oftentimes crosses all those boundaries.
Yeah, and this is a pretty basic question, but we have a full screen for you here. What happens when your child is abused?
Well, typically someone's going to make a report, perhaps a school, maybe a grandparent. Someone will call the child abuse hotline, and there will be a call that goes in, and then depending on the case and the severity of the case, Child Protection Services will then have a certain amount of time to investigate, and they will make that investigation and determine whether it's substantiated or not. Many times assistance is required to go into the home, and so they'll refer them to an agency such as CAPA that can do in-home visitation programs and support, or other agencies. And the key emphasis nationally is to get help to the family as they exist, not to take kids away from the family unless ultimately necessary.
Try to see if they can work it out.
Absolutely.
All right. Janetta, thank you so much.